Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, and if you are remotely into platformers, I want you guys to point your attention to Once Upon a Puppet, and this video is brought to you by Daedalic, and I want to highlight the game thanks to them for sponsoring this video and also providing me with a copy of Once Upon a Puppet to play. We'll go over some of the details you should know about the game, and again, if you're into platformers, this is one that's incredibly unique from a thematic standpoint. There's so much competition within this space, but I think as a puzzle platformer, a lot of the things that Once Upon a Puppet is doing is going to set it apart from a lot of the other games that do come out, and it has its own identity. I think that's the most important thing, not only within any specific genre, however, gaming in general, is to carve out your own identity, and Once Upon a Puppet has a lot of that. It has a lot of style, it has a lot of quirkiness, it has a lot of charm, but fundamentally also incredibly a unique game. Once Upon a Puppet has you control the strings of fate and embark on a grand adventure with Drev and Neve. They are your two characters within this puppet-themed world, and the utilization of Neve, who is the stagehand, and Drev, who is the star puppet, that is one of the most compelling components of this game, and how that is implemented in terms of navigation, in terms of how you do the puzzles. And the puzzles that I've done so far, while they could be seen as a little bit on the easier side, it didn't puzzle me too much, so to speak. I was fascinated in the way that they were designed in the standpoint of utilizing both Drev and Neve, and not only from the standpoint of how they were mechanically designed, because the mechanics of utilizing both Drev and Neve, the stagehand and the puppet, that's obviously going to play a role, but also within this world, having this visual presentation of the puzzle I thought was really, really well done. And if you're remotely into the thematics of this game, I just think so far it's been executed very well. It is story-driven as well. You'll get a bit of a story exposition, and then a lot of the dialogue isn't voice acted. Keep that in mind. But the writing has been fairly engaging so far. And let me also say, since we're on the topic of the voice acting, one of the elements that I think draws a lot of people into a new IP, a new game in general, but obviously there's so much competition, but I think sound design is so important. Right off the bat with Once Upon a Puppet, when you hear that menu theme, I think it totally draws you in, and then the rest of the game as you're playing it, it has a little bit of that element of it being a relaxing game, but also picking up when you need to. But if you want a game that is incredibly chill, laid back, and you can relax a little bit with some intricate puzzle designs as well, I feel like Once Upon a Puppet nails that as well. Welcome to Once Upon a Puppet, again, a 2.5D puzzle platformer that unfolds within a vibrant world of theater. Take part in a magical tale that combines classic platforming with puppet-inspired gameplay. And the puppet-inspired gameplay, I think, is a key point to tell, because it has a lot of the fundamentals of what makes these classic platformers, but from a thematic standpoint, seeing a jump even within the world of a puppet and a stagehand, I think that adds a little bit of an extra flair. It's in a captivating story of friendship, self-discovery, and redemption. Wear the glove of Neve, the stagehand, exiled to the understage, and wield control over Drev's strings, a puppet magically bound to her. As they journey to return to the front stage above, they will retell forgotten stories, uncover shadowy secrets, and learn their fate is interwoven with the kingdom of theater itself. There's actually quite a lot of depth to the narrative as well. Feels like some emotional moments as well, and yeah, it is a puppet at the end of the day, but the relationship between Neve and Drev is gonna be one of the integral parts of the game, and I feel like that's always something you could lean on with solid writing within a platformer, is that tandem storytelling, and you've got that here with Neve and Drev. Become a puppet and a puppeteer, pull the strings, and master the art of puppetry in this unique approach to action, movement, and creative puzzle solving. You've got a wide variety of characters, some of them with their own quirkiness as well. Meet an ensemble cast of dozens of major and supporting characters featuring hundreds of lines of handcrafted dialogue. Deadly shadows face a horde of villainous creatures who will do anything they can to snuff out the lights and bring the show to an untimely end. A meticulously crafted world, marvel at the stylized and detailed graphics and 2D cutscenes that reinforce the magic of theater, with stages that fluctuate between past and present. I don't have much of an affinity towards theater, but the presentation in this game and thematically I just thought was handled so well within the context of a platformer, that not only from a gameplay standpoint do the thematics intertwine with that, but also from the presentation and how the puzzles are constructed and how they unfold. I thought it was so complementary to the overall game. Set the scene, a arrange and move props, backdrops, and characters to rebuild theatrical stages and reenact scenes to unveil what befell the once proud world stage. And in enchanting soundscapes, be captivated by a rich theatrical soundtrack and immersive sound effects that bring the world of Once Upon a Puppet to life. And throughout the game, just like any platformer, you'll have a plethora of collectibles as well. Observant players will find a variety of collectible surprises along the way, and you'll want to pay attention, and you'll get that. You'll piece together some things as well, fitting the context of Once Upon a Puppet together. The leading actors, unwittingly bound together by spool and thread, Drev and Neve reluctantly embark on a quest to reclaim their place in theater. Against a heartbroken king, Neve, a talented weaver beset by self-doubt, builds a strong bond with Drev, a naive yet ambitious actor. With Drev's unbridled theatrics and Neve's brilliance, they will conquer their deepest held fears to reveal the truth of the void harbored in their hearts. Now, the puzzles in this game are one of the core elements of the game. When you start off the game, they introduce it fairly well, so how you control both Neve and Drev throughout the game, and how you handle the puzzles, they're super simple initially, so it gets you into figuring out how to utilize both characters, but as you progress through the game, they'll expand a little bit. I didn't find anything so far to be absolutely dauntingly confusing to figure out, but definitely one of those games that's rewarding at the end of each puzzle and figuring out how to utilize Neve and Drev in conjunction with one another, whether it be utilizing this character to move this lever and utilizing that character to get them into the right spot, and how it's designed for controls. And you do want to play this game with a controller. I thought fairly well done. Sometimes these games where you do handle two characters at the same time, because this isn't a co-op game, you play as both characters at the same time. How you handle that from a control scheme standpoint can be a little bit hard to figure out, but I thought they did a fairly good job with Once Upon a Puppet. I do want to note a couple of other things as well. The game is enjoying a launch discount. It is 10% off for $22.49. The standard price will be $24.99. There is a backstage edition that'll get you Once Upon a Puppet supporter pack, as well, a collection of DLC and goodies for Once Upon a Puppet. And then the game is Steam Deck verified. I feel like this is exactly the kind of game that you'll want to take on a deck and will work great on there. I played it on my PC. Your standard controls with an Xbox controller. Had a great time on there, but this game should transition to the Steam Deck very well. Not a difficult at all game to run. This is one of those games that leans more so on its aesthetics and style rather than raw technical visual prowess. Minimum requirements, you're looking at an Intel Core i3 8100, 8 gigs of RAM, a GTX 1050 Ti, or an AMD Radeon RX 560. Recommended i5 10400, 16 gigs of RAM, a GTX 1650, or an RX 570. If you're remotely into platformers, but you want a little bit of a unique layer attached to it, I feel like Once Upon a Puppet gives you that with the theater thematics, the puppet gameplay style, using a stagehand and a puppet. I felt like that added a new world and style to platformers. And even if the fundamental gameplay aspects are what platformers do really well, a bit of exploration, jump over here, get to that point, some puzzles, how it's all implemented within the context of what Once Upon a Puppet is, I think is handled really well. And from a sound design standpoint, thought relaxing at times. Definitely one of those games you can kick back, long day at work, get home, and just enjoy the time in a charming puzzle platformer. Once Upon a Puppet, like I said, is available right now. I'll leave a link in the description box below to check it out for yourself. A very charming, unique platformer here that still gets the fundamentals right of what makes a great puzzle platform with a lot of style as well. The very least, add it to your wish list if you're into platformers, and check it out sometime down the line. Again, link in the description box below. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and thanks to Flatter Than Earth and Daedalic Entertainment for bringing you guys this video. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate it if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.